Hi, I'm Steve and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'd like to show you how to make baguettes. Like this. These baguettes will complement any meal. I'll be using 14 ounces cool tap water, 1/4 teaspoon instant yeast, 1½ teaspoons salt, 1 tablespoon extra virgin olive oil, give it a quick stir to combine. Now bread flour, 3½ cups. I start out with 1/2. I put it on the side so that it doesn't splash. And then 1, 2, 3. I'll stir to combine. It's beginning to come together, and there it comes. I'll scrape the side of the bowl to get the dry flour in with the rest. And then I'm going to tumble it a little bit. There's some dry flour on the bottom, and if you tumble it, you get the wet from the top to touch the dry, and when it touches the dry, it will be absorbed into the ball. There we go. All we need to do now is cover the bowl with plastic wrap, and it's ready to proof. Dough should be proofed for 8 to 24 hours. I generally proof overnight on the kitchen counter. The dough is proofed overnight. It's time to make the baguettes. As you can see, the dough has risen and more than doubled in size. I'm going to degas, pull, and stretch. Bring the dough down. Okay, I'm going to scrape the side of the bowl. Get all the dough into the ball. Okay, now I want to roll the coat. I want to add some flour to the dough. The dough is very difficult to handle because it's wet. If you add the flour, it'll make it easier to handle. This, by the way, is one reason why you don't have to weigh the flour. If you keep adding flour and adjusting flour, it's not that precise. This is a very forgiving recipe, and all you need to do is add the flour as needed. Okay, I'm going to put some flour on the counter. Roll the dough out on it. Now I'm going to divide it. I'm going to divide it into 3 parts. Before I divide it, I spread it out a little bit because it'll be a little bit easier to divide it into thirds. Okay, I now have thirds. Next part. Some of these are larger than the others. No problem. See, this looks a little small, that looks good, that looks the biggest. So what I'm going to do is take a piece from this one and add it to that one. Okay. Now I'm going to shape these just like you would shape rolls. you take it and you tuck it underneath, and you add flour as it gets sticky on the top. Just going to tuck it underneath. Got to add some flour. These are quite sticky. As you add flour, they're not as sticky. By the way, they will absorb a lot of water. Pardon me, a lot of flour, because they are quite wet. That's no problem. Okay, I'm going to add a little more flour to the work surface here. My next step is, I'll take each of these, I made them round. Now I want to make them a little bit more into a log. This is called pre-shaping. In other words, I want it longer than that to be my baguette. But for right now, this will do just fine. Then I'm going to rest it for 10 to 15 minutes. What that 10 to 15 minutes is going to do is the dough will loosen up and it'll be easier to make it longer. And what do? I cover it with a lint-free towel, and it's ready. It's time to finish shaping the baguettes. Let's finish shaping the dough. Okay, going to use a little more flour. Going to start with one right here. Oh, got to spray the pan first, don't we? By the way, I do it over the sink, so the overspray doesn't get anything dirty. Okay, and here we go. Just lengthening them a little bit. There we go. They stuck to the counter some because the dough was quite wet. No problem. In fact, we'll add a little more flour to the work surface. Bottom line is, we were able to make them longer because they'd rested. And they're ready to bake. All I need to do is cover them with a flour sack towel to let them finish proofing. Cover baguettes with a lint-free towel and proof for 30 to 60 minutes. Before dough is fully proofed, move oven rack to middle of the oven and preheat to 450 degrees. It's time to bake the bread. Baguettes should be baked for 25 minutes at 450 degrees. The baguettes are ready. Let's take a look. And here they are. Still a little hot. There we go. There's a nice little baguette. And I love baguettes fresh and hot from the oven. I tore off the end and served it with extra virgin olive oil. This recipe and others like it are in my No-Knead Bread Cookbook. Cookbooks are available on my website, no-kneadbreadcentral.com and amazon.com. Thanks for watching.